Hi friends, Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library, and my pal Faye and I are here today to talk to you about some really great books that I think you might like. The books today don't have any overarching theme to them, they're just ones that I think you might really enjoy because I enjoyed them. So the first one is called Ask Again, Yes, and this is by Mary Beth Keane. And this book is about two New York police officers named Francis and Brian, and they both move to this small suburb right outside of the city to start their families when they're young. They live on the same block in the same neighborhood. There is an event, we'll call it that because I don't want to give it away, something that happens between the two families that basically ties them together forever. And the story is really about both of the families, the characters within the families, and it takes place over a long period of time, how they both come to terms with what has happened, how they move on, and how the families remain tied together. So this is a book, it's about marriage, it's about family, it's about forgiveness. It's really, really good. The writing is very great, it's very engaging, just an overall really great family story. And again, that's called Ask Again, Yes. So the second book is by an author you might recognize, and it's called The World That We Knew by Alice Hoffman. If you don't recognize her, she's actually the author of Practical Magic, and a lot of other books too, but I think Practical Magic is one of the ones that's the most familiar with people. And this is actually a historical fiction book, and it is set during World War II in France. And it's about a Jewish woman named Hani and her daughter Leah. And Hani is trying to get her daughter safely out of France because of the Nazi invasion. And they go to seek help with this Jewish rabbi who actually creates a golem to protect Leah. And a golem is a mystical Jewish creature that's made out of clay. And it's about them leaving the country, trying to leave the country, looking for safe haven. And this book is absolutely amazing. If you've read Alice Hoffman's work before, you'll know she has this incredible talent to take a real story that happened with realistic elements and always ties in a little bit of a hint of magic in there. And that is what this book has as well. So it's sad. It is a sad book. It's about loss. It's about sacrifice. But it's also about love. And it's about resistance. And it's a really powerful, powerful story. It has stayed with me long after I read it for the first time. It is just a beautiful, overall, beautiful, heartfelt story. And again, that is called The World That We Knew. Lastly, I would like to talk about this book called Long Bright River, and that's by Liz Moore. Now, this book is actually one of my top favorite books that I have read so far in 2020. I could not put it down. It's not very short. It's not overly long either, but I read it in the span of a couple days because I just could not stop reading it. Definitely one of the best books I've read so far this year. So this book is about a Philly cop named Mickey and her sister named Casey. Now, Casey is a drug addict. She lives on the streets. She's homeless. Mickey has tried to get her help numerous times. She refuses it. And at the beginning of the story, Mickey finds out through working as a cop that her sister has gone missing. She can't find her. And the story goes back and forth between the past and the present to show how Mickey and Casey grew up. And it shows Mickey now searching for her sister. So it's a family story, but it's also a mystery too, because you're trying to find out what the heck happened to the sister who has disappeared. It handles the issue of drug addiction in a really, I think, fair way. It's not accusatory at all. It shows things from Casey's point of view at times. And it's also not forgiving either. I mean, it's very hard line. It shows you, look, this is what happens to people, that are addicted to drugs, and this is what they go through. But it's also very humanizing as well. I thought that it was amazing. It showed me sides of this issue of drug addiction that I had never really thought of before. And really the mystery was a big part of what kept me hooked on this book, because I just was desperate to find out what had happened to the sister. And it was really intriguing the way it went back and forth between the past and the present, because I got a really good feel for not only Casey but Mickey too, and how she grew up and things that she's gone through. And it's just an absolutely phenomenal book. And again, that is called Long Bright River by Liz Moore. So those are the books I have for you today. They are all available at the Farmington Community Library. So please feel free, if any of these sounded interesting to you, to put them on hold and check them out. Our curbside service is available. Thank you so much, guys, and have a great week.